This morning. Awesome afternoon. An exciting evening. This is Carla from People's Union of South Asia, and we are here to speak to people throughout South Asia or anywhere you can come and talk with us about your culture, your life, what's going on with you. You watch on Facebook, on YouTube, but you join on the link that I will be giving to you on Facebook. That will be coming to you very, very soon. Just give me a moment to get it together. We are on YouTube and LinkedIn at this moment in time. I am working on getting everything onto say it for me, my friend Victor, because right now I am a little discombobulated getting this together. So I'm going to let you take over so I can get everything on.
Surreal, are you on your phone? Well, then you have to unmute yourself on your phone too.
Hey, how are you doing?
The rules are the same. You have to unmute yourself if you want to be heard.
Right?
Are you not home?
Yeah, I'm at home. I just got home sometime back.
And what time is it right there?
9:30 in the night.
9:30 at night.
Guys, I want to ask you a favor. Can you please let people know that you need to register to come to the show? And that will happen all over. Surreal's problem may be the problem everyone is having when it comes to getting to the show now. They didn't know that the need to register.
Well, that's certainly one possibility, Surreal. But another possibility is that Providence only wants those of us who are here to be here.
Yeah.
Very true. So let me get the YouTube link so you have it to share out to your friends, family, and anyone who wants to be here. So Surreal, how are you? We haven't seen you in a very long time.
Yeah, I've been good. Been busy. Just been working, and now that everything's opening up, been going to my office and stuff like that. So, and it's different, you know. It's. I mean, after being at home for almost 2 years, going back to work feels so weird.
Yeah, you have to put pants on.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we're not going to get into that, but it's very true. You need to put pants on again. And I'm so happy you guys have, well, I hope you have pants on. Maybe I shouldn't even get it.
You can incorporate a pants check for going forward. Anybody without pants, leave.
What did Sonia come? Oh, Sonia's sharing out the YouTube link. Thank you, Sonia. Anyone can come, Sonia. It's just a question of getting everything together. Okay. Victor, can you talk to Surreal so I can get this together, because it's not set up like the English show is set up for this.
So Surreal, you said you've been going to the office.
Yeah, I went today, and last 5 days I was at my facility in which is like little. It's almost 2 hours drive from my home.
Mm-hmm.
So
So how big is the office?
My May my office, which is 2 hours away, is almost 50,000 square feet.
And how many people work in the office?
We have about 70 odd lawyers.
70 odd lawyers? Okay.
Yeah.
They're
What?
odd.
It's an expression.
Are they odd? Are they
It's
strange?
an expression. He means 70 or so.
No, no. He said 70 odd lawyers.
Well, that's because he speaks English well, and he can use the colloquial expressions, the idiomatic expressions as a normal part of his life. So he can say what you mean when you say 70 odd. Same thing.
No, I want to know. Are they weird?
No.
Some of them are.
I mean, look, they're related. They work with surreal. They cannot be normal people. I mean, it's obvious they can't be normal people. Come on.
So back to the show, Surreal. When you
Yeah.
walk in the door of the office, who is the first person that you see?
The receptionist.
And what's her name if it's not private?
No, it keeps changing. We have it on rotation. So right now, we have the main receptionist's name is Vanessa, and she's on leave right now. So we have some of our office boys who sit at the desk on her behalf.
You know, I have seen television shows involving attorneys, and in addition to the attorneys, there's always some individuals there, some personalities there.
Uh-huh.
Apart from the attorneys, do you have any interesting, shall we say, characters there?
We already know the answer to that, Victor. What do you
apart from Surreal himself?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's interesting in their own way. Everyone has the quirks, Everyone has certain persona which they carry with them, and it's. I mean, we there are some people who are really interested. In fact, there is one of my colleagues who is actually writing a book. He's like 23 or 25 or something like that. And he's writing a book on comparing the Supreme Court cases of United States with Supreme Court cases of India. So he's a very interesting person. And at some point, I let him know, he's really interesting.
That's an interesting topic. How many judges in the Indian Supreme Court?
I think it's a bench. I mean, the full bench is there might be about 25 to 50 odd of them. I mean,
25?
Yeah, because India is a big country. I mean, I have to double check on the number. I could be wrong, but I think we have like the Chief Justice, and then there are other judges as well.
Are they appointed for life as they are in the United States?
No, they have a fixed term, some of them. I think they have a retirement age and stuff like that.
If you had to choose, would you say one is preferred over the other, lifetime appointment versus fixed terms?
I think I prefer fixed terms because it brings in, because with changing times, you need more, you have to keep on, change has to happen, and when you have a life term, it becomes, the complacency sometimes sets in, and then stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to running a country or setting culture, sometimes the older the better, because the older person has a feel for the impact that things have on one another. So that when you're young,
Hmm.
you don't have time to be thinking, to be mulling things over, to be predicting the future. I think I must have had my first thought when I was 40 years old. So maybe it's a good idea for them to be around
It
until they're 100 years old.
if I mean it, it depends, you know. It's it it's a you know it's because if you it I mean sometimes right now one of the youngest judges in the country has he just recently regarding bitcoins and stuff, he in one of the cases he said that the Indian government should take a call whether bitcoins are legal or illegal, and because they're not taking any position, it's affecting a lot of people and a lot of cases and stuff like that. And the court system in India is very effective. People really uh, uh, the Supreme Court has in many instances driven the sentiments of the people. People really respect the Supreme Court in India more than any government or.
Well, thank you, Surreal. Sonia, you've been listening to me and Surreal. Do you have any comments on what we talked about, or would you like to just tell us who you are?
But that's
Yeah,
how people need to start. Because if we don't know who they are, we can't get anywhere. I hope you guys have shared out this to your friends and family so they know we're here and they can share it. Please put it on your Facebook profile if you're here. It would help get an audience together, which is what we want. Okay, Sonia, introduce yourself, please.
thank you, Carla. Hello, everyone. Victor, Surel, Muhammad Akif, and the one who will join us. Hello from my side. My name is Sania Murtaza, and I'm from Pakistan. Currently, I'm living or speaking from the capital city of Pakistan, that is Islamabad. I'm a student. I have done clinical psychology. Like I have done graduation in clinical psychology, and now I have applied for my master's program in UK. Um, I've been doing creative content writing for one of the online websites, and besides that, I have served as an assistant psychologist into hospitals of Islamabad. And nowadays, the only task that I am doing is basically preparing for my IELTS exams that will be held at the end of March. And today I've joined you guys in order to know people around the world. So thank you everyone for having me here.
Well, you are welcome, and thank you for being here. Akib, did I say that properly?
Yeah,
Well, good morning, Akib. Tell us who you are, and tell us what you are, and tell us how you are.
okay. Thank you so much, Victor, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to introduce myself. I'm called Mohammad Akif, and I'm basically from Pakistan. As per concern my academic, I have done master in clinical psychology, and beside this, I also work as a clinical psychologist in combined military hospital as well as Benazir Bhutto Hospital. So I'm preparing for IELTS because my future plan is to go abroad for pursuing my education, like PhD from Canada or America.
You know, Akib, it's a common question where I live for people to say things like, "What did you do today?" Is that a common question where you live?
Yes.
Well then, Akib, what did you do today?
Uh, I have done a lot of things. Like it's my habit that whenever I get up, I check my mobile, and then after I turn YouTube and watch domestic and as well as national and international news channels, and after that I uh, wash my face and go for breakfast, and then read news paper, and after that I I done some assignments which are assigned by my supervisors. So in evening, I usually play cricket or go for a walk with my friends.
Well, thank you very much. That was a very nice answer, and it's a good question. So we might as well ask the question of everyone. How about you, Sonia? What did you do today?
Okay. I have quite a regular or same routine nowadays, and today was quite busy for me because I just woke up, I did cleaning, then I washed my clothes because I wash my clothes on a regular basis. Then took shower, had my breakfast, started preparing for my IELTS. For that, I consulted to YouTube, watched few videos, made some notes, joined some English speaking meetings, did my lunch, my dinner, and yeah, I also made French toast today for myself and for my family as well. But that was in the evening, and now I'm talking to you guys.
Well, we already know what Surreal did today because he told us he went to the office. Another question, and this is a slight variation of the first question, is something like, "What is the most exciting thing you did today?" Or "What is your big takeaway?" And in a place like where we are, it's not a bad idea to use those type of questions to evoke conversation. Now, evoke means to make happen. And every now and then, as I'm speaking with you, I may say a word that you don't understand. And I really encourage you to tell me when you don't understand because that's the way you learn. In fact, Carla
Can I
came up with a
interrupt?
beautiful.
Can I interrupt with what you're saying?
Can you interrupt? You just did.
I did, but I asked if when you use a word that may like evoke, which many people may not understand, you need to go back and say, okay, give them a definition. Because it's very possible many people won't say what that they don't understand. They're afraid to do it. I don't know why. But because of that, when we use 25 cents and bigger words, we need to define them.
Okay, as I said, evoke means to make happen.
You did
Evoke,
very well with that. Thank you, Victor.
so it brings something out of you. Like for instance, if you said something funny and somebody laughed, you evoked laughter. If you told a sad story and somebody cried, that means that you evoked tears. And since we're learning, Akib, can you use a sentence with the word evoke?
I Actually, you were talking to Sonia, so we should ask Sonia first.
Okay. Sonia, can you make a sentence using the word evoke based on the definition that I just gave?
Okay, let me think. um, okay, so when I told him that we are going for a long drive, so the feeling of excitement, basically I evoked the feeling of excitement in him or her.
Good
Well
use.
done.
Very, very well. Good.
Hey,
And
Sonia.
continue to do that to him too.
Sonia, do
Yeah,
you have a
Carla.
word you would like to show us that you know and use it now?
Let me think. Yeah, basically, I learned a new word today. It was it was a broomstick. I didn't knew it earlier, but I just read in a page and I just searched it out what the broomstick is.
Very good. Can you say that word again?
It's a broomstick.
Broomstick?
Yeah.
Do you know that word? I don't know it, Victor.
Well, to me, it sounds like she's saying broomstick, so I don't know if I got the word.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying broomstick. Okay, that's it. You got it right. I changed the B to a G. Okay, tell us your understanding of the word broomstick.
Okay. So as I've told you that I was reading something and I came across the word broomstick. So basically it was a story of witches. So like they use the broomstick. It's a basically long trunk or long stick. And I don't know what is it called, but it has a, can you, Victor, help me out with that? The thing that is attached with the stick?
You mean the straw?
Yeah, straw. And at the end of that stick, there are some straws attached. So that thing is known as broomstick.
And is that broomstick something that they ride in the sky?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what story were you reading?
I'm scared to ask.
Ah, but it
Actually,
could be fun. What story?
it was about witches.
Okay, what is the name?
Like I didn't read the whole story because I told you that I was
What?
reading just a page.
That's
Okay.
fine, but what is the name of the story? You should know that.
No, I came across only one page and it didn't have a title. Like
It didn't have a title at all?
No, because it was a page of a story. I read only one paragraph and it
Okay,
didn't have it.
okay. Do you know what book it was from?
No, because it was posted on an Instagram it was
Oh,
just a
okay.
picture of a.
So it was something you read on Instagram. Can you tell us what the paragraph was about?
Yeah, it was basically about two girls, like they were part of an academy, a witches academy, and it was a conversation between the two. The one was, I think so, she wasn't. The theme was like that. The first girl wasn't good at flying the broomstick, and the other was just trying to help her out with the tips and tricks how to fly the broomstick. So it was a tiny bit of paragraph, and the theme that I got was like this. It was just a random one.
Okay. Do you read Instagram often?
Yeah, whenever I'm free and I don't have anything else to do, like I just I didn't had an internet connection today. My package was ended today, so I just opened the Instagram. So there were 3 or 4 posts which were already there in order to go through. So the first post was about this, so I just read it out in order to improve my English and in order to, get in touch with English.
It's rather amazing, wouldn't you say so, Victor?
I absolutely would say so, particularly being strong enough to read about witches.
What do you know about witches, Sonia?
I think so. Witches are the females like who does some kind of magical tricks or some kind of make portions which they use in order to trick someone and like this. I think so. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, and what else do you know? Tell us.
I think so that it's just a fantasy story. I don't think so that witches exist in the real world. So it's just a
Really?
part of.
Well, you and I have that in common, Sonia. I don't think they exist in the real world either. However, I think the idea is a very, very powerful one.
What
There were,
about Sonia? Have you read or seen the story, The Wizard of Oz?
No.
Ah,
then by the time we come back, you must go to YouTube and watch The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
And we will talk about that.
Actually, Sonia, you should watch it before we do the kids show on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay. Surreal, do you have any new words? Well, you have excellent English, but what have you learned using your English? Something new.
Something new.
Yeah.
I haven't been reading too much of fictional stuff, and I haven't, because I have to keep on reading contracts all the time. So we have a lot of these words in our contracts, which, but one of my most favorite English word is flabbergasted, It's one of my,
Can you define flabbergasted? I was
like,
reading that earlier during the show.
it's kind of like surprised with a superlative form of surprise.
Okay, what else is it? And Sonia, you do not need to be muted on this show. Okay, so how do you use flabbergasted?
I was flabbergasted by the events of the world that are taking place right now. I don't want to get into that, but it's pretty.
Nobody wants to, believe me. Everyone's flabbergasted.
We don't want to get into that big time at all, but can you tell me something else using the word flabbergasted and not think about what's happening in the world? Actually, I think it's all connected with the pandemic. People just don't know what to do with themselves. So those who don't look on positive things come to the junk that's going on, and those who are more focused on the positive would never think this is happening. My personal opinion. So, how do you tell me something about being flabbergasted?
Wow.
Can you be
I was
flabbergasted by how good my red shirt looks?
I, I was flabbergasted when Victor got his Bitcoin sweatshirt.
There you have it. It's in the laundry today, or I would be wearing it now. Because it is also red.
Right.
What is it about red that you like, Victor?
Red implies liveliness, it implies excitement, it catches the eye. And when I was a boy, I grew up in a Christian home, right? And they told me that red was the devil's color. So being restricted from red as a boy, or not having a flattering view of red as a boy, probably made it more appealing to me as an adult. But red is what's happening. Do you have a favorite color, Akib?
Yeah,
Well, what is it?
uh, white color is my favorite because it's a symbol of peace.
Okay.
Do you often wear white clothing?
Yeah, especially especially on wedding ceremony or on Friday.
You attended a wedding on Friday?
No, uh, on Friday we offer Friday prayers. So on this occasion we wear white cloth mostly.
Now, do you have white in every article? Like you have a white coat, a white pants, a white shirt, a white hat? Do you have everything in the color white? Because I don't
Uh,
have red underwear.
You don't?
no,
I don't. So, do you have white everything, Akib?
yeah, almost.
Surreal, what is your favorite color?
I like green.
The color of money. Oh, well, maybe it's not. Is Indian money also green?
No,
No,
Indian money is colorful. That the like uh, different color notes for different denominations.
Oh, I see. How about Pakistani money? Are they the same?
yeah, it's our flag color is green.
The flag is green, so the
Oh,
money's green too?
Yeah, yeah, few notes are green.
Yeah, one day in the near future, money's not going to be any color. Is it surreal?
Yeah,
It's just going to be
A series of numbers
digital.
and
right.
yeah.
And that may be a good thing for those of us who are ahead of the curve.
But, we're talking about everything going digital. How will that money affect our travel and our economy? Because we are beginning to work in a digital world. What do you want to say about that, Cyril?
I mean, cash is slowly going out of the system, I mean, the governments don't encourage cash transactions too much these days, any which way. So, people are using Google Pay and all these PayPals of the world. And so we are already, cash is becoming less and less significant. So, and I mean, so digital is the way it's going.
The fact that cash is going digital is sort of validating the fact that money is an idea. It's actually intangible, and it's more about value. Because
Hmm.
in the old days, I think they used to exchange shells,
Yeah,
give away rocks. But the idea of transferring value from one person to the other is becoming more and more real.
yeah,
Take the idea of a personal coach. That's someone that gives you advice. That's someone that tells you how to get from where you are to where you want to be. Some people make $25,000 per hour doing that, and yet other people they make $500 per hour. So one person has the idea that what they're saying is that valuable, and the person that's paying for it has the idea that it's worth that much money to them. So money really is a value in the fact that we're going digital. I think it's going to make it easier and more commonplace to transfer and transmit value.
yep.
One of my favorite sayings when I speak to my friends on the phone, you probably have things that you say. You say hello, how are you, that sort of thing. Apart from my patented better than I was and not as good as I'm going to be, I often say to someone, how can I add value to your life today?
Mm.
And believe it or not, just saying a certain thing to someone or helping someone who wants to feel good, it has value. And when you give value, somehow the person in charge of all this, the God in charge of all this, you always receive value every time you give value. So get in the habit of transferring value and receiving value. I think it's a pretty good lifestyle. And it's a little deep for an English speaking show. So we'll move on.
No, actually, people should realize that value is important. And I think people often say, hey, my value is not top notch because they degrade themselves. They say, oh, Victor's better than me speaking. I can't do what Victor does. Very true, because Victor is who he is. Sonia is who she is. We are all different people. And it's time that we begin to respect ourselves as much as we respect others. Sonia will say, my English isn't good enough. I don't even know where that comes from. You and I are listening to her today, and her English is absolutely phenomenal. But she doesn't give herself that credit. Everyone says, I don't want my ego to take over. Well, when you're worrying about whether your ego is going to take over or not take over, the truth is your ego is taking over. It doesn't matter. Just stop thinking about it and just let it be. Sonia, stop thinking about whether I can speak English or whether you can speak English or not. it's obvious you can, and yet you're so nervous about it. It's time you stop being nervous and you accept what you can do.
And we haven't asked you your favorite color, Sonia.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that because I don't have a specific favorite color. Like I value every color that I have around uh, because my favorite is in specific when it is related to color changes time to time. Sometimes when it comes specifically when I'm wearing clothes, sometimes my favorite color becomes black. Sometimes times I love to wear green. Sometimes I love to wear mustard color. So basically, the color that is more in trend suddenly becomes my favorite. So I don't have any specific favorite color.
Well, excuse me.
Now, what color, Sonia, do you wear most often? Today you're wearing green. I've seen you wear all different colors.
Yeah. Basically, Carla, like in my specifically talking about my country, here like we follow more often the colors that brands launch most of the time when it comes to wearing clothes. So last summer, mustard was the most like favorite color of mine because everything that I bought was in mustard color, and nowadays it has changed to black. So time to time, my interests in colors changes. So that is why I say that every color is my favorite one because it totally depends on my mood.
Right. When you say mustard, what color are you talking about?
It's kind of yellowish. It has a kind of yellowish tone, like similar something related to yellow color, I think so.
Very good. You know, that was a very difficult question. Did you have any trouble answering it?
I quite answered that, I think.
What do you mean I quite answered?
Like, I think so that I answered the question like quite enough in order for everyone to understand what I am trying to talk
No,
about.
I asked you a different question. I asked you about the question. Was it easy for you to answer the question?
Yeah, at first, I just, for 1 second, I just thought that how to answer, but then I gathered my courage and try, like I did it. I answered the question.
Right, and you answered it well. Why did you feel you needed to gather courage to answer it? I'm asking you these questions on camera. I know it's difficult, but I know you can do it. And I want you to gain that confidence because what you're lacking with your English is confidence. And you need to get your confidence together. So answer my question.
Okay, yeah, I also think so that the thing that I'm lacking this time is only confidence. Otherwise, when I am alone talking to myself, I feel like that how wow I can speak like this as well. So that thing just when I'm facing the camera or sometimes when I am in front of native speakers, I sometimes get confused, but when I am talking to the people who are at my level or to the Pakistani, sometimes to my siblings, so I just don't even hesitate speaking and I go with fluency and pronunciation, each and everything.
So let's take this a step further. I've been wanting to do this with you for a long time. Victor's probably thinking I'm being mean, but I'm not. Because you know that you can do it, what holds you back from thinking you can speak in English?
To be honest, Carla, now I don't think so that I'm that much, lacking self-confidence, which I used to do in when I was just new to all this. Because now, at first I wasn't even if I don't know the answer, I was just, I just got confused at some point. But now, if I don't know the answer, so I don't worry about that any much. Even though I just ask. Native speakers that can you elaborate this for me, or I by saying these kind of words simply that I don't actually know the answer to the question. So at first I didn't even had this courage to tell in people in front of camera that I don't know the answer and I don't know how to say this in English and how to speak it out. But now I have enough courage to at least make other understand what I'm being through thinking, or if I have the answer or not.
What do you do when you don't understand?
I usually ask the person in front of me to elaborate or explain it further for me so that I would be able to understand it.
I am glad to hear you say that. And I am going to be watching for you to be doing that on the English more and more.
Yeah.
See, Sonia, you just need a little confidence. And I knew that from the beginning. I'm curious, Sonia, because when we first met, you wouldn't come using the camera. And then all of a sudden, you popped in one day and your camera was on, and I was so surprised. Do you feel a difference when the camera is on?
Obviously, because I've talked about it so many times, I would love to talk about it this time as well. Because when you are in front of camera, the actual thing is that that's the time that you know how much you can do, because everything is in your mind. Okay, when you are aware of the thing that the other person is watching, or every person, like the world is watching you, that is the time. If you can do anything, or if you can speak at that time, that means that you are good enough in order to face people or in order to speak. Because when you are off the camera, like no one can see you, so you can, most of the people can do better because they are aware, like their mind is aware that if I would go wrong, if I would make mistake, no one can see my face, and no one could recognize me in the public that, oh, that was the lady who didn't knew how to speak, that was the lady who did wrong. But when you are aware of these things, that you have to face this, there are people who say these kind of words, but I am aware of this, that maybe sometimes I would face that, but I have enough courage in order to answer those people. I have enough courage to, accept the way I am, accept the way, at the level on which I lie at this time. And I'm proud of it because at least I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to make mistakes, and I'm trying to, because it's not my language. And still, if I'm doing it, I'm proud of myself.
Hey, Carla,
Yes.
I think Surreal has traveled the path that Sonia is traveling because it's not Surreal's language either. Surreal, what can you
Mm-hmm.
say about developing the confidence that it takes to go from not being a good English speaker to being a good English speaker? What can you tell Sonia, or what can you share with us about your journey? Because you are obviously confident speaking English.
Yeah, I mean, for me it was different because uh, the city I live in, Mumbai, is a has a large English speaking population, and I went to a English school, and so right from kindergarten till all my education has been in English. So it's a different and for me it's unfortunately I haven't been able to master my own native language. So while I'm confident about speaking in English, when it comes to speaking in my own mother tongue, I don't have that much confidence. So it's I kind of feel sad for myself that I'm not fluent. I mean, I understand it, I can read it a little bit, I can speak also, but I'm not as confident in my own language as I'm with English. So people always face challenges with the language which is not known to them, and it's to build confidence. You know it you I mean, sometimes you can uh, uh, to build confidence in English especially. A lot of people get little uh, I was overwhelmed by accent and how they sound, but it doesn't really matter. Sometimes you make mistakes in your pronunciations and things like that, and then if you have someone who is really good in English, they point it out to you, but that shouldn't bring your confidence level down. You know so just just go with the flow. Go easy on yourself. Don't get too caught up in you know as long as you can communicate your message, and it's interpreted in the right way, and that can build your confidence.
Thanks, Surreal. Sonia, did you get that?
Yeah, exactly.
All
But I
righty.
have a question, Surel. Like you just talked about that, just don't bother and keep your confidence up. So, can you tell me like how to keep confidence up if still we are struggling in order to be confident, especially in front of camera and especially speaking to native speakers, or especially one more thing, especially when like we are speaking language other than our native language.
Hmm. No, I think if if you if you have a certain topic that you want to talk about, or you want to know something, I think it's I mean, just try. This you don't have to use big words. You have to use simple. Try to keep your language as simple as possible. Don't I mean, big words are important, but don't get so caught up with them that you start feeling that, oh, I'm not using a big word, so I'm not a good speaker, or some new words and stuff like that. You I mean, confidence comes from within. It's like, I have friends from different parts of the world, like French people, people from Middle East. Everyone does is a non-native English speaker, but they are comfortable with their, with their. Uh, you have to be comfortable with yourself.
Right.
You have to. And that's where your confidence will come from. Uh, Once you're comfortable with yourself, then everything is just it just flows like a ocean. It's like, um, uh, hundreds of rivers come together and they enter the ocean, right? And once the river enters the ocean, it doesn't really matter whether it's a big river or a small river. In comparison to the ocean, it's always, so you need to have just that self-confidence and self-worth that will bring your confidence out.
Okay. Thank you, Cyril.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say something about this?
Well, I don't know if you can, but if you can, you may.
Well, I'm going to. And I'm going to speak directly to Sonia, but this goes for everyone. Many people all around the world already can speak English. The fact that they can write and they can read tells me that they can speak. The reason that they normally do not speak is they believe, I cannot speak English. You don't know how many times I've heard that in the past almost 5 years now. And the reason that they say it is because they don't do it. The reason you were so lacking confidence in it was because you don't speak it on a regular basis. The purpose of all the shows I do, and this isn't supposed to be on English today, but it became that. The reason I do this is to help people realize that you can do anything you want to do once you've decided to do it. Sonia, you decided a long time ago, I cannot speak in English. And you need to change that mindset. You need to change that thinking. Because as long as you think I cannot do it, you're absolutely right, you cannot do it. It doesn't matter whether you're talking to someone in Pakistan who speaks English like you do, maybe not like I do, because I have spoken it all my life. But that isn't what matters. What matters is that you just do it. Don't worry about mistakes. I've said that I say that in every show I do. If you worry about making a mistake, you will never learn, you will never grow, you will just stay where you are. Only when you decide, okay, I'm going to make a mistake and who cares about it, will you move forward. That's up for you to make that decision. Whether you use 10-cent words or penny words doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you use $50 words or 25. In fact, I just used a word with in a text to Victor saying that was a good segue. I spelled it completely wrong, and he came back on hey, you spelled it wrong, and told me how to spell it. I found it very kind of amusing. So what? I made a mistake. Who in the world cares? You're the only one who cares about your mistake.
In our last show, Carla had a phenomenal quote. Carla had a really nice quote. I'll tell you what phenomenal means later. But Carla had a really nice quote. She says, don't worry about mistakes. Just make them. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
And I say that all the time. You just make a mistake. You're the only one who cares. Honestly, no one else gives a darn. They're all worried about themselves like you're worried about yourself. Who the world cares? You do. And how are you going to learn? By making the mistake.
Well,
you don't understand, you say, I don't understand. So what?
I see Huong just showed up just in time to close the show.
Yeah, we're closing within the next 5 minutes, but because she came, I wanted to let her in.
We call you a 10 o'clock scholar.
Halong can talk about making mistakes for a moment. Halong, introduce yourself and then tell me how you feel about making mistakes now.
Carla, Victor, and everyone. This is Huong from Vietnam. I'm a lecturer in a government university. I have been teaching marketing, economics, and international business for more than 17 years with more than 10,000 students. They are from different countries and different provinces in Vietnam. I work and live in the province. It's about 100 kilometers away from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. And coming back to the topic, making mistakes. So, as I have said in several shows that when joining Carla's show for the first time, I couldn't open up my mouth to talk because I felt very scared when making mistakes. I was wondering that when people will judge me, will give me bad comments. So how could I overcome that? But being next to Carla day by day to talk, and I feel more confident, and I don't be afraid of making mistake anymore, because when listening to Carla's show again, I can recognize my mistake and I can learn from my mistake as well. So I'm improving day by day. Thank you.
So mistakes are important, right?
No, it's not really important. It's like the fact of life. We are human beings, so we are human, so we can make mistakes. And after making mistake, we recognize, we figure out it, and we can change ourselves and learn from our mistakes. So everyone can make mistake. No one is perfect. Yep.
I make mistakes every day. Sometimes with my English, sometimes on the show, sometimes with my crazy cat and dog. We all make mistakes. Who worries about it? In fact, Victor, repeat what you said to me about the mistake with Segway.
Oh, you mean what I put in the chat?
Yeah.
Good.
This is a bit clear. This is personal, what I'm about to say, because Carla is sharing her mistake with the rest of us. Once I sent her the proper spelling of the word segue, she sent me a chat message saying, my spelling is sometimes poor. Now, those of you who are here must see how that's the same thing that she is telling you not to do. She's telling you not to say that your English is poor, not to say that you can speak bad English. She's telling you not to do that, but the mistake that she made is that she did it where I could see it, so I called her on it. I sent her back a message saying, you are doing what you are teaching others not to do. So the awareness, just because you know something, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do it. And that's why it's good for individuals to repeat things that are important. Over the last 5 minutes, Carla has said many times, mistakes are not important. Make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't hide from mistakes. So I reminded her, if you're going to teach that, then you're going to have to do that.
Well, I want to take that one step further because I don't think you understood what I was saying. I made the mistake and I said my spelling is sometimes poor. I had no idea how to spell segue. So you taught me something new. And it was poor for that. And I didn't mind that it was poor. You taught me something new. And that's what I meant when I said that. But at the same time, you're absolutely right. I made a mistake and you called me on it. And thank you very much. And I would hope anyone would call me on a mistake if I make it, so I can learn the right way to do it. Mistakes are the stepping stones to success. If you don't make a mistake, you stay where you are. When you do make, let's say you're here and you refuse to make a mistake. Oh, let me put my hand up so you stay here. But every time you make a mistake, here goes here, and here, and here, and here. And success comes. But success can't come until you make those steps. What was it Thomas Edison said? It took me 1,000 different tries to get the light bulb to work. But I succeeded. I learned each time. And then we have the light bulb. Same with computers, everything. People don't just give up. They keep on going. Okay, I wonder, and we do need to get off, but I want to go through everyone and ask you one thing you may have learned today. And I'm going to start with Akib. Less than a minute.
Yeah, I learned amazing things like uh, mistakes. Mistake are important for growing life.
Right. Good. Sonia, what did you learn?
I learned a new word from Cyril when Victor and Cyril were talking. So I just learned a new word from him. He was talking about a word, flabbergasted, I think so. Am I speaking it right? Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted. Flabbergasted.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Flabbergasted.
Surreal, what did you learn today?
I learned a lot actually. I mean, how English is, becoming more accessible to people, and and how it's becoming the common language of communication.
Very good. Anything else before I go to Huang?
No, I mean it was a great experience, like just meeting, getting to new people, and getting a sense of togetherness, and coexistence, and we all are in different parts of the world, and here we are talking to each other, and that in itself is a learning of its own kind.
Great. Keep in mind, we have India here, Pakistan, Vietnam, and the United States. 4 different countries. We have never met each other in person, physically, and yet we're talking like we've known each other for years. Very interesting. Huang, quickly.
Yes, Carla. Thank you so much for having me in these sections. We are from different countries with different perspectives in life, but we are here to clarify the important fact in life, making mistakes, and how to communicate with each other efficiently and productively. That's amazing things from your shows as usual. I can see that. So I really love those show and talking here with everyone from different countries, with different cultures and different lifestyles. But we are here to elaborate simple and very necessary things in life. Thus, making mistakes is a fact supply, and we are always growing and improving with our own mistakes. Yep, thank you.
Great. Victor, what have you learned today?
I have learned that Akib is a good man because we shorted him today. He did not get a chance to do very much talking and he stayed for the whole show. So I appreciate him for doing that. That's what I've learned.
So do I. And sometimes patience and listening, you learn more
I'll
than
call you back momentarily.
Having said that, I learned that you guys listen to me a little. And when I make a mistake, although I didn't mean to make it sound like it is, someone has the courage to call me out on it, and we all learn from each other. And that's the purpose of all my shows. And with this, there is going to be another meetup on Sunday, same time. Victor, you did tell me you were coming.
I am.
Same time, 9 p.m. Pakistan time, 11 p.m. No, excuse me. This is earlier. It will be at 9:30 a.m. my time, which makes it 7:30 p.m. Pakistan time. And Victor, it's so nice to do it so early in the morning. And we will be here. It's 6:30 in the morning for Victor. That's real early. You couldn't get me to do that. And we will speak in English for Planet Union, creating the planet, talking around the world. Can we all wave goodbye?
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Same
And
to you.
we are done.